Hi Capricorn, I am back to do a pick a card reading for each zodiac sign. So here we have pile number 1, which is the Monday Mystic Tarot, or Mystic Monday Tarot. And we have group number 2, which is the Gilded Tarot. I'm going to leave you guys a second to choose which deck you want to pick. If you need any more time, just pause the video. Alright, those of you that has chosen pile number 1, what changes, what is coming into my Capricorn's life? I'm getting this feeling that a lot of my Capricorns are feeling really tired, like kind of burnt out. Like wanting to give up. We have the 2 of Cups, the 7 of Swords, the 2 of Pentacles, the Princess of Wands, Death, the Moon, the 9 of Wands, the King of Cups, the 6 of Pentacles, the Tower, the 10 of Swords, the 6 of Wands at the bottom. So Capricorn, this is essentially positive. Although I feel that a lot of you guys have had issues with a person. There could have been this feeling of not wanting to leave a piece or a part of you behind. It's like having to say goodbye to the part of you. It kind of just, it feels like you're becoming a whole new you. You're evolving in some kind of a way where it's going to become noticed. For some of you, after you broke up with somebody, you're going to start to glow up, or something's going to happen where you're going to change. It felt like this stagnancy or not knowing what you're wanting to do with your life. There was like this lack of motivation. So a lot of you struggled to get things done. And a lot of you felt you had to push yourself to get things going. I feel like that's a part of you that is going to be resolved. I got that for a lot of you. What is ending for you is this a part of yourself that you didn't understand that you're now accepting. It's like some of you could have been in denial about some part of you, maybe a part of you that was angry, or a part of you about your sexuality. There's something about, I mean, I feel like every Capricorn's experience is going to be unique and different to themselves, but there is definitely something that you've rejected about yourself for such a long time that is starting to come back to yourself. And I feel like for a lot of you, you might feel very vulnerable as well. But this is bringing in healing for you. And this is bringing back to you the nourishment that you've been needing for a while. And it has something to do with some person in your past, or something that ties up to this, where it is helping you let go of some form of rejection. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to become successful. You're going to become happy, and you're going to feel like you're winning in life. But before you feel that, it's almost this, like, you don't want to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. Right now, Capricorn, you want to try and stay positive. But in order to stay positive, we have to look at the underlying issue. We have to realize that if we have negative emotions, we need to neutralize it so that this energy can flow. I feel a lot of you guys have been slowly, in a way, investing inside your own spirituality and yourself and the things that you kind of care about. You've been nurturing. And I feel for a lot of you guys, it's like there's been this conversation that took place that left you feel kind of hopeless about your life and where you're going, and you felt very, a part of you was afraid to move forward in life because you didn't know where to go. But you're finding that strength in yourself again, and that's where all of these burdens are being dropped. And so I feel like for a lot of my Capricorns, you guys are starting to transform into a more authentic version of yourself. However that might look in your life, you're starting to change the way that you are viewing your situation. Some of you might still feel kind of stuck in that process of making a decision right now. You might feel like you are lacking in something, but you are eventually moving into something that is going to be abundant, but for you. It's what you deem as being successful, that's what you're going into, Capricorn. So the changes that I'm seeing in your guys' life is, I feel for a lot of you, you're either not talking to this person anymore, or there's this communication that isn't as great, it's not as beneficial as it could be. I feel like some of you guys are worried about what somebody will think about you. There is this fear of how others will view you, or how one person in particular is going to view you. And for a lot of my Capricorns, you don't want to live in a lie in your life. You want to be upfront and honest with people, and you just want to be open. You want to be a genuine person, and you feel like some of the people around you are not going to accept that part of you that's wants to be genuine. And so I feel that you're kind of hesitant to put that part of you out there. And that's why you went back and forth, because it's like you're in your mind about it. You're worried about making that decision. So some of you guys, you are suppressing this desire or this need for expression. And that is why there is this part of you that feels like you need to free yourself. And that's where your success with that Six of Wands and the Six of Wands here. I feel like those two are it's very important, because I feel like you are about to form something that's going to become successful once you accept a certain part of yourself. You're going to be able to be you'll have a lot less limits, and because a lot of times we put limitations on ourselves when we suppress parts of ourselves. Oh, it's not okay for me to express this aspect of me, and so we restrict that off from us, which now when we need to use that in order to get through certain obstacles or maybe to get through certain things, we don't have that available to us because we block it or we suppress it so much that we don't acknowledge those parts of us. So it really kind of handicaps us more than it does help us. And I feel like that is kind of what is happening towards you guys. And that is kind of what is coming to that end, is you needing to just listen to yourself and trust yourself. Because again, I feel like that you don't want to create a tower moment with this person, or you don't want somebody to disapprove of you in some way. You just want to be accepted for who you are, but you're afraid that there are certain people around you that are not going to accept you for you being the true, more authentic version of you. It's like there is this sense of something is inherently wrong with me as a person. And then it's having to get through that shame in order to say, this is who I am. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, that's kind of what is coming up for my Capricorns. And that is what I feel like is going to be resolved, though, because I do believe you are coming into that power, into that success. But it's that fear of, what if my relationships can't move forward with me? What if I can't go the distance that I'm hoping I can? There is this bit of, I feel like I can do it, but I'm afraid of what might come in my path. But you don't, like I said, you're wanting to kind of either tiptoe around the subject, or you don't want to come out with what's going on, because again, this person that you're worried about, you're afraid of how they're going to react, or you're afraid that they're going to leave your life. Which I think is why you're having a hard time making that decision to just come out. For some of you guys, maybe you are needing to come out of coming out of the closet, or admitting something about yourself that is different. I feel like there's a lot of insecurities and a lot of self-doubt towards how this relationship is going to be. But a part of you knows that you can't control this other person. So it's almost like you think, well, maybe if I let my guard down, maybe they will be more, less confrontational. Because, you genuinely don't want to hurt this person. And I feel like for some of you guys, this is your family members. There's something that you're wanting to do that you know that they're going to disapprove of. Or that there's somebody that is, a wife or a spouse, a husband or something, that is going to disapprove of something of you. And you just don't want to upset people. But at the same time, you pretending to be what you feel you're not is causing you to not be emotionally satisfied, not to be happy where you are in life, because you feel like you're missing something at your core when you don't express yourself, when you pick a direction, or you pick a cup that you know isn't right for you, and then you're trying to make it right for you. And that is what I feel like is ultimately going to lead you to having a broken foundation and needing to rebuild again. Because I feel a lot of you guys needing to listen to what you know is going to make you happy. Like I said, I feel like you kind of turned off this part of you that is very expressive and very playful and doesn't want to take life so seriously. And there's a part of you that's moody, and you just want to be able to express that side of you without being judged. So there's a lot of different things I feel that is happening for my Capricorns. And it's kind of having that internal conflict with having to learn to accept that part of you before you can expect others to accept that part of you. Because I feel a lot of you guys are afraid of if someone is going to accept something about you, but here you are so worried about that you're not even realizing that you don't even accept that inside. So how is it that you can communicate that to other people when you're unsure, when you're not feeling at your best, when you're not fully certain inside yourself? And so that is one of the issues that I'm seeing happening for my Capricorns. And I feel that once you learn to stop, it's almost like you're hurting yourself by wanting to resist that part of you, but I feel like the resistance there is built around shame. I think that growing up you could have been shamed for this part of yourself, and because of that you internalize that as, oh, I'm bad, nobody loves me if I, so it's like you almost adapted to reject that side of yourself, and it brings upon great deals of shame because you're afraid that if people will see you or think of you in this way, that it's going to ruin this perception of you, or that you're going to no longer be as loved or as liked as you once were. But in reality, I feel like that is just a belief that you hold, because when we see the same thing over and over again, we think, oh, it's never going to change. It's going to be the same again. Nobody likes me. This part of me is too much for other people. I better hide that side of myself. And I feel like that is kind of what is coming out. So eventually, I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be able to come out into the world and tell the world, this is who I am. I'm not going to be ashamed anymore. And once you stop fighting that inside of yourself, once you stop trying to prove to other people something that you're not, when you can let go of needing to prove or having to get that validation or feeling like you are bad in some way, all of a sudden you're going to feel happier, you're going to feel more energy, you're going to feel like you can conquer anything. It's like this part of you was what was slowing down that creative spark inside of you. And so when you release these issues, all of a sudden your creativity comes back and your success is going to start to change, and you're going to start to be able to hold on to that success and hold on to that happiness and actually be able to create something better for yourself. So this is extremely positive, and I'm very happy to hear that. Now, of course, I feel like for some of you guys, you might still be in that stage of mental anguish and feeling like there's no line in sight, but I promise you, if you keep working at it and stop resisting that aspect of you that you're trying to reject, then you're going to realize that there really wasn't anything to stress about. There really isn't anything to worry. And even if it blows up in your face, and even if people reject you, you're going to become so content inside of yourself because you accepted that part of yourself, that you can handle the blow of other people's disappointments or judgments. And that's going to be able to help you find people that will accept you. And that's what I'm getting for a lot of you guys. So let's pull some karma cards and see what kind of karma is coming my Capricorn's way. And what is being highlighted for us at this time? Yeah, your second house, I feel like your finances and things have been restricted or capped to where you just have enough money to get by, or you just have the same, it's like the same thing over and over again. You feel very stuck in a work or in a job or in some kind of living situation. There's always something that seems to, it just feels like that money isn't really coming in. There's a block there. And I feel it's because of not having that creative energy, not feeling deeper into yourself. It's almost like it's propelling away money to where you're not getting what you need. Or more that you could get. And I feel that this is what's going to unblock that for you. So we have the South Node. And the thing about the South Node, for a lot of you guys that don't know much about astrology, we have the nodes on the moon. And so there are two focal points up in the sky that is called the South Node and the North Node. And what they do is the South Node is considered past lives, and what you have mastered and what habits you have acquired in a past life. And so that's your comfort zone. That is something that you are familiar with. And even when you grow up, you might be in that south node, or you might feel that sense of knowing or comfort in that way. But your north node is the getting out of your boundaries, getting out of that comfort zone, actually trying to achieve something greater for yourself. And I feel for a lot of my Capricorns, what is shifting and changing is you're needing to get out of that comfort zone, but that comfort zone inside of yourself. You have to push the boundaries and the barriers between yourself and ideas and beliefs that you hold about you as a person. Because I feel like that is one of the reasons why your money has been stifled. Because it almost feels like this is that, right? Like it's being watched, it's guarded, nothing is coming in, it's being restricted. That's what it feels like. It's like your comfort zone is what is restricting you. So it's interesting that we have Pisces and Neptune. So Pisces represents Neptune. And I feel for a lot of you guys, it has a lot to do with yourself for the first house. It feels like there is distorted energy about how you perceive yourself and what you believe yourself to be. And I get that when you start to learn to relax and kind of go with the flow, it's like having to feel around and discover new parts of yourself. Because with Pisces and Neptune, they're very passive planets. Things get drawn to them. So I feel like a lot of you guys have had a lot of life experiences and a lot of things drawn to you that has shaped the way that you view yourself. And so it's almost like you started to form these limiting beliefs about who you are, and you're afraid to break away from the molds that other people have placed you in, out of fear of being rejected or afraid of what they're going to think of you. And now it's time to start focusing on yourself. What do you think about yourself? How do you feel about this situation? And go from there. So I feel a lot of you guys, what is changing and what is coming into your life is you're going to have to step out of that comfort zone within yourself to discover who you are. It's like you are changing from the inside out, and people are going to start to notice you more and more. You're going to start to feel a lot more comfortable in your own skin. I feel what is holding you back from achieving greatness, or what is holding you back from accomplishing this success that I feel will lead in later on, is due to this shame, this block that you have, that something is wrong with you, or that you can't, or that you don't deserve to have success in your life. You're afraid to become successful, but due to the responsibilities or being truly noticed. And it's like this part of you is unique, and this part of you can make you money, can give you that success that you want, but due to having this fear, it is keeping you from obtaining it, because this part of you is going to help you tap into that more of your purpose, or to help you find your way through life much easier when you can accept that part of yourself. Whatever side of you that you feel is rejecting you, like that side of that you feel you're rejecting, or the part of you that you feel is a handicap or hindering you in some way, is actually one of your greater strengths. And to be able to accept that part of yourself is going to help you move much differently in life, which is going to allow you to get more opportunities, that's going to accumulate more wealth, more resources, and actually grow you as a person and push you more towards your destiny and towards that north node. So let's pull the last bit of cards here. This is the Chakra Insight Oracle cards. What does my Capricorns need to heal or to just pay attention to at this time? But this is like exciting because once you break out of that resisting that part of yourself, you're going to explore so much. Yeah, I feel like your creativity is being blocked. I feel like that creativity is being blocked inside of yourself because of that resistance that you have. Because that part of you that you're resisting, the part of you that you're trying to reject, is the part of you that is creative, is the part of you that is the way you express yourself through life. And without that side of you, you're not going to be able to draw in the people, the places, the circumstances that you need to not only grow, but to also excel and to allow that abundance to pour in. So we also have possessions. I feel that a lot of you guys are in this process of needing to ground yourself. And also some of you need to throw away things or clean up or tidy around your environment. Some of you guys need to, if there's something you know that you need to deal with that comes to your possessions, it's like you can't procrastinate on that. There's certain things that you're procrastinating on, or there is also this fear of gaining possessions, having too much, because you're afraid again of like what the responsibility or the things that you would have to have. In order, like, because to have assets and to have certain things, it does require maintenance. It does require a lot of your attention as well. And so I feel like a lot of you guys might be subconsciously being afraid of the responsibilities that it comes with success and the possessions of it. Plus, I think some of you also are afraid that you're going to be out of control if you let this side of yourself out. That you're afraid that if you acknowledge this part of you and you accept this part of you, then it's going to become too big to handle, right? And that is a fear that needs to be worked through in order for you to gain your finances and to gain things that are going to bring you joy in life too. Some of you guys are lacking in self-love and giving yourself what you need. I think a lot of you guys are trying to expect other people to give to you what you are lacking inside of yourself. And I feel for a lot of you guys, that is something that needs to be worked on, is not being so critical of yourself every time you have an issue or a problem. And it's hating on that side of yourself that is perpetuating this suffering that you have. But once you choose to just say, okay, let's make a truth with myself and this other part of me that I feel is unsafe to have, then you can learn to find middle ground there and find love inside of yourself. I feel for a lot of you guys, once you start to love yourself, you're going to start exhilarating inspiration. Things are going to start coming to you, and that's when that success is going to start heading in that direction. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be able to voice what it is that you want to create into the universe, and I feel it's going to bring about a lot of passion, a lot of fun, a lot of fulfillment in your guys' life. I'm seeing a lot of good things coming into your life here, Capricorn, but you've had to work for it, and you've had to put in that effort. And a part of you guys have been fighting with yourself this whole time. And once you learn to accept it, you're going to realize it's going to be so much easier for you to manifest and to create. And you're going to have a more playful energy. I feel like a lot of you guys, once you also accept this part of yourself, you're going to be taking back your power. Not only are you going to be more self-expressive and being able to actually enjoy life, but you're going to also be able to gain your self-esteem back and the confidence that you need, and that's what's going to help you succeed. And the more that you accept that part of yourself, the more you're going to start succeeding more and more in your life, because you're building up that self-esteem. You're starting to love yourself more. And so that is the key here, is to love yourself. Treat yourself like you're your bestest friend. Treat yourself like you're the most important person in the universe, because to you, you are. So we need to start treating ourselves right. And I feel like things are going to start shifting for you guys. We also have dreams. And I feel for a lot of you guys, it's like your dreams are going to come true. Whatever you believed in, whatever you wanted, I feel like is capable to manifest. But you have to start to stop fighting yourself. Stop fighting that creative side of you. Some of you guys might be fighting your sexuality, or you're fighting against some kind of expression that stifles you, that leaves you powerless, that makes you feel vulnerable. And that is the side of you that is being healed. And that's what's changing for you, is the way that you see and view yourself inside. And that is going to reflect how you are going to be feeling about yourself, which is why I feel a lot of you guys are going to lead into success in your lives. However success looks like for you, I see that actually being possible for you. So this is a very positive reading. I'm glad that I did this for you guys. Hopefully this helped you. If you guys want to leave a comment down below what you think of the video, maybe like or subscribe. Every little thing helps. So that's what I have for you guys. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye. Hi guys, the Capricorns who chose pile number 2. What changes are coming into my Capricorns' lives? Alright, what is happening for my Capricorns? Wheel of Fortune. The Six of Cups, the Three of Wands, the Seven of Swords, the Fool card, the Four of Pentacles. This already feels kind of like a very heavy energy. Ten of Cups. The Four of Cups, the Sun, the Nine of Cups, I feel like some of my Capricorns, a lot of you guys are living in the past. We have the Tower, the Nine of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the King of Swords. Okay. So Capricorn, I feel like whoever chose pile number 2, some of you guys are living in the past where you feel like the past was a missed opportunity, or something that it's like you didn't see what you had till it's gone. Or this could even be how somebody else is viewing you. But there is this sense of regret, and it's something about the past and it not going, it feels like Some of you guys feel like that wish fulfillment is still there. And all you can think about is that past, so you're waiting on it. So you have this waiting energy. Feels like you're not wanting to start anything else besides what this is. Like your mind is dead set on this past, and that's what it feels like. I'm gonna get some clarifiers here. Yeah. You've made a final decision about this. You feel like this is... You don't want this to be over. You feel like there's still things to be said, things to be done. For some of my Capricorns, this is you walking away from a spouse or getting like some kind of argument or separation and wanting that, or they want to come back to you or you want to come back to them. It feels very family related though. Like it could be like that, like a husband and wife dispute or something, or it could be straight to my family, my actual like parents. And life feels really uncomfortable right now. And so focusing on the past is kind of a way that you cope too. Plus I feel like a part of you is in this guilt, wishing you didn't take certain actions that you've done. It's like some of you need to let go. But it feels like this nostalgia. Some of you feel very nostalgic around this time, or you can't stop thinking about a certain person or something about your family that has changed, that you almost wish it would go back the way that it was. Because you felt like it was a happier time than what you are in now. A part of you feels like, well, I want to start something. I want to go back to where it was. I don't want to start something new here. Everything is pointing back to that past, though. We have the Tower in reverse here. We have the Six of Cups, and then we have the Six of Cups here. It feels like, again, you're very nostalgic about the past. Even though a part of you knows you can't go back to where it once was. But your reality right now seems a lot grimmer or just very tough. So it's easier to go back in time and think about everything that has occurred. And some of you guys wish that maybe you would have done certain things different. So now there's either like this sense of regret, guilt. Maybe you feel like you've ruined a good thing, or you feel like somebody did that, now they want to come back to you. But I feel like a lot, like whoever this is that I'm picking up on, it's like you're not looking at the past in the clearest lens even. It just kind of feels like this, it's either you or this person, like I say, you know, it just really feels like you're missing a partner or you're missing somebody that you wish that things would go back the way that they did, but the foundation isn't set right. The stuff that is there can't be resalvaged, and if it does be resalvaged, it's not going to be in the way that you wanted it to or the way that it once was. And so some of you feel really heartbroken and really upset over this situation. And it's almost like you wanting to correct it or to get out of this feeling stuck and feeling like you can't go anywhere. But there is this part of you that's afraid to step away from that barrier between you and another. It's like some of you or this person wasn't being completely forthright with how they felt about this situation. Some of you guys feel lost without this individual, or it's not, you're not happy where you are currently, so even the past feels better. And I just keep sensing that. It's like you're living in the past, and because of that, it feels like the world around you doesn't feel safe, or this feels like a very good distraction for you. To fantasize the past, because again, there's this sense of nostalgia or wanting to go back to where you felt like you were the most happiest, where you felt like you were getting most of your needs met. And there's just this situation where it feels, but like, you know that you can't fight it. You know that that it's over, it's done, or the situation isn't the same. And I feel a lot of you are in this guilt about the actions or the decisions that you took that could have led to it having a tower moment or other things that led you to this point in your life now. And I feel like a lot of you guys are beating yourself up and not letting go of past actions and past mistakes. And that is stifling you on how you're communicating with those around you. And you're not giving your full presence to those, because a lot of you will say anything or do anything to diffuse conflict so that you don't have to feel this uncomfortability. Because a part of you just wants to have harmony with those around you, right? You want to feel like you have this harmonious relationship, but unfortunately it's like you're blocking parts of who you are just to keep yourself afloat. And so what you need to do is release what you're feeling, but you're not, because you're holding on to the past. You're holding on to being afraid of being abandoned or being rejected. There's something where you feel there's this lack that I'm sensing in the present, that you feel that you are missing, that you thought that you obtained in the past. And so some of you guys feel like your happiness is in the past, but really what's happening is you just need to heal this core need inside of you. And it's going to help you guys release these burdens and not make you feel so unsteady and unstable. Because some of you guys are trying to get from other people, and you can only get your needs met from you. And I feel like it's like a very specific need. And for some of you, it's this sense of being it's the sense of like partnership or union, or not feeling as alone. But now I feel like some of you guys kind of feel alone. So I'm going to pull a karma cards just to see what kind of karma is heading my Capricorn's way and what is just being highlighted for you guys at this time. Okay. So we have Pluto in the North Node. So a lot of my Capricorns, you guys are changing radically the circumstances and the situations. But I feel like your life, what is happening right now is you're being forced to move forward in your life when you don't feel like you are ready to. And that is forcing you to grow and to extend and to take back parts of your power. With that North Node, I feel like a lot of you guys are needing to have that faith into moving forward in your path, not knowing what you're doing. You're constantly afraid that if you let go of the past or if you move forward, that you're going to miss out on something that was great. But what you need to understand is there's other blessings along your journey and you will get your needs met. But in order for you to get your needs met, you have to let go of what is no longer serving you guys. And I feel like that is what is happening here is your North Node is coming into play where it's teaching you to get out of that comfort zone and to move forward. It's like needing to charge forward like an Aries, right? So it's like you're going to have a lot of challenges and a lot of roadblocks along your way, but it's going to be very rewarding for you. And so I feel like what is happening is what is changing in my Capricorn's life is essentially a call to grow and to grow up more. So you're evolving into the person that you were meant to be. But it's a slow process into that. It's a full journey, right? Like we're all going to die, right? So for a lot of people, they think, oh, I can heal and then I'm done healing. But it's an forever journey. Even after death, I feel we will always be growing and evolving in some way. Because I feel like everything is always changing. And so it's like getting comfortable with the journey and not just the destination to where you want to go. And I feel like that is a huge key factor here because a lot of you guys feel like and then when you think about going forward and doing certain things, it brings up anxiety, it brings being worried, afraid that you're not going to have the time or the effort or the motivation to do something. But it's almost like the universe is putting you in an awkward situation in the present and you're trying to use the past as a way of escapism, but it's like the universe is trying to get you to stay focused on what is in front of you at this time, no matter how uncomfortable it is. And that is what's going to start growing you. We have Aquarius. So I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be discovering new things about yourself. And I feel a lot of you guys are going to start becoming more confident and shining within yourself. When you start to feel uncomfortable, that is where one of the biggest growths are coming in. So I feel like a lot of you guys are, like I said, in a very uncomfortable situation or spot, and you're trying to find ways to cope with that. And it's like the universe is trying to get you to work through that so that you can evolve past that discomfort. Because once you feel that discomfort, eventually you're going to go back to more of a comfortable state, right? So to change and to grow, it's going to be uncomfortable at first. It's going to take time for it to change and to settle down. And I feel like once it settles down, then you're going to be in that comfort zone again, right? So it's always forcing and pushing yourself to keep getting out of those comfort zones and keep expanding yourself a little more and more each day so that you can make your way to that North Node, so that you can go towards your purpose in life. And I feel like that is what is happening. It's that Mars is the shadow. It's like you're taking in that action and you're finding ways to gather that to gather up and muster up that ability to take charge of yourself and to actually put in that action. Because we can sit down and think about something over and over and over again, but we're not going anywhere while we're constantly stuck in the past, or when we're constantly trying to avoid situations. We're not going to be going anywhere. And so it's having to get you to move out of that energy. And even though I know how this is, because I've been through this before, so I can relate to that feeling kind of stuck, feeling like you don't want to deal with whatever's in front of you. It's like things in the past seem so much better than they are now. And so it's easier to just distract yourself with things, or constantly thinking about stuff that causes you to get so tired that at the end of the day you don't have time to do the things that you were supposed to do. So I feel like some of you guys might be lacking behind on doing things that you know you're supposed to do. And I feel like that's what's going to be coming in and changing, is you're going to have situations that is going to force you to step more into your power and to take back more focus in your life. And it's like taking that action. It's like life is going to force you to start taking action, because it's like you can't stay stagnant where you are, and so you're moving in. And I feel like a lot of you guys, you've had made quite a bit of progress inside yourself, and you have tried to change your current circumstances. But again, it's still this needing to let go of the past and needing to know that all you have right now is the present, and the present is what's going to determine that future. And I feel like a lot of you guys are worried about your future, but you're not doing anything in the present to prevent you from having those issues in the long run, or in the future. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's like your today is your past's future. And so what are you doing every day that you can evolve so that your future looks a little bit brighter and brighter? Because if we're still doing the same things and we're just staying stuck in our head and we're not actually taking that physical action to get things done, a lot of the times what will happen is we start to doubt ourselves, we start to feel lower about ourselves. We get so caught up in our heads that sometimes we miss the bigger point of life, is to have those experiences and not always be thinking about it, because thinking about it isn't going to manifest it. You have to think about it, feel it, and take that action in order for you to actually obtain what it is that you want in this world. And so I feel like a lot of you guys are feeling this stuck, stagnant energy, and Pluto is coming in to strip you away of things that are comfortable in your life. And I feel like it's forcing you to move in the direction of your North Node, which is going to help you guys really start to see yourselves differently, and the way that you handle yourself in situations that become uncomfortable. Because eventually, once you accomplish one goal, you're going to feel better about yourself. And see, it's like sometimes if you can get into a routine of, oh, I'm going to do all the stuff I don't want to do in the morning, so that in the afternoon I have things that I can do. Or I have to work at this time, so let's take 30 minutes out of my time to tidy up or clean or do certain things that would benefit myself in the long run. And I feel like that is kind of what is being what is changing in your life. Is it's like little events and little things are forcing you to make those little habits and those changes that is ultimately going to help lead you to a more successful, or at least a better place than you once were. And so that's kind of something that I'm really feeling is moving and changing in your life currently right now, Capricorn. So let's pull some final cards for us. It is the Chakra Insight Oracle. Let's see what parts of you needs to be healed, or at least what parts of you are being shown, or just being highlighted right now. feel like this is the season for a lot of people to take back their power, you know, to show those aspects of themselves, to accept our limitations and to grow from our limitations. Find new ways to get out of our situations. So we have personal boundaries, choices, assertiveness, empowerment, authenticity. I feel like a lot of you guys, that is something that has been lacking in your life, is having those boundaries. Some of you guys maybe you just do what other people want from you, and sometimes you have a hard time saying no. And that's kind of what I was getting to, and I think that's another reason a lot of you guys are so fixated on the past, because it's almost easier to see ourselves in a different way, or to see the past in a different way than it is currently now, which I feel like a lot of you guys feel kind of alone, or feel like people are not taking your feelings or who you are into account, and it's setting those personal boundaries. Now, personal boundaries isn't just to go up to somebody and say, hey, these are my boundaries, you better respect it. What is happening there is, it's almost like you're trying to assert boundaries when you yourself do not feel comfortable or do not feel worthy of having that boundary. So what is happening is when we come up to people, people read our energy. A lot of the times it is subconscious, but that's how we are. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, when you assert those boundaries, it needs to be energetically. You need to be comfortable with those boundaries inside of yourself in order for you to admit that to others, or to emanate that out, to where you might not even need to speak those boundaries. People are automatically just going to know that that is a boundary, because subconsciously they're picking up that energy of that barrier or of that boundary saying no, right? And the ones that do test you, they're going to see that these are real boundaries, because energetically you don't have any guilt, shame, or any emotion around that boundary. Everything in that boundary is neutral. It can be a boundary and a barrier, but with love, right? And so there's different ways that we need to look at boundaries, and there's different ways that we need to view it, because I feel like a lot of you guys, maybe you've tried to speak your personal boundaries to people and people have walked all over you, and it's because you were not firm with them inside of yourself. So we also have divine consciousness. I feel like a lot of you guys are getting downloads. You guys are going to start understanding things better. I feel like some of you guys, you're going to start emotionally becoming more balanced, because things are getting taken away in your life and things are shifting and changing. It's going to mature you emotionally, and it's going to cause you to start to, like I said, assert yourself a little bit more and taking more personal boundaries and responsibility, but also to give yourself that chance to grow more into the amazing person that you were meant to be. And I feel like that is what is coming in for you at this time. We also have guidance. I feel like you're being supported on what you're going through and what is happening for you. I feel like for some of you guys, your home life is being very highlighted for you at this time. Wanting to be safe, wanting to be seen, and wanting to have that love. And I feel for a lot of you guys, you are learning to let all of that go. So I feel like that is what is happening for you. And a lot of you guys might even have people around you that are willing to support you, but you need to learn to let that in. And I feel like that's another thing, is some of you might have this really hard time receiving. And so you're always giving to people. And when people try to give back to you, then it's like you have this wall, which is another issue that I am seeing too, is that's what's something with that personal boundaries. It's like you keep things that are good for you out without even realizing it or meaning to, and it's because you've been hurt before. And so that is something that is trying to be resolved, is so that you can receive the guidance and receive the love and support that is around you. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you are going to start to tap into not only the stream of divine consciousness, but like your own consciousness. You're going to start to understand parts of yourself that you didn't understand before because of these circumstances and because of these things that are leading you down this path in this direction. You're going to start to notice things more about yourself, and you're going to realize that you do have the capability of going out and achieving what it is that you want. And I feel a lot of you guys are also going to come up with conclusions about your home life, realizing that your home could have had an impact on how you had boundaries. Some of you guys, your family didn't have very good boundaries, and so you didn't develop very good boundaries. And I feel like in this time right now, things are shifting and changing so that you can learn to form that identity and form those boundaries for yourself. So I feel like a lot of things is going to be changing in your life, and you're needing to have that faith that even though things seem very unstable and maybe even directionless at times, that you are being guided and that things are going to work out. It's just having to get through that uncomfortability getting out of our comfort zones and leaving that situation or leaving something behind, even if it seemed good for us in the past. It no longer is serving us in the present, so we need to move forward with it, even if it's hard for us to do. And so I feel like that is really what is happening for a lot of you guys. So I feel like those are the changes that are coming into my Capricorn's lives. Hopefully this resonates and helps you in some way. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, or comment down below what you guys think. Thank you guys so much. Have a great and wonderful day, Capricorns. Bye.